Hello, my name is RYANDEE Jude, and today I'll be talking a little bit about Over the Moon, which is the film that we choose for this film critic. Okay, so basically, Over the Moon is a computer animated musical fantasy film directed by Glenn Keane and co-directed by John Coss. And this film was published in 2020. So, in this film, there's this one girl named Fei Fei who suffers the horrible grief of losing her mother at a very young age. And then, after 4 years later, her father has moved on, and basically, he's considering to marry again. And this sending Fei Fei for a loop. She's not yet processed the loss of her mother, and now she's being asked to welcome another woman into that role, along with an annoying potential stepbrother. Fei Fei panics and she decides to basically explore her mother's favorite legend about a moon goddess who is waiting there for the return of her lost love. And then Fei Fei builds a rocket and takes off into the stars, sucked into a magical world of helpful dragons and bright creatures inspired by the Chinese tradition of the moon or Mid-Autumn Festival. In visual terms, this is a space trip as imagined by someone on a bulk candy bender, splashed with more vibrant colors than we typically see on the gray orb. So, this is basically the summary of Over the Moon, and I hope that you will enjoy our film critic. Thank you. Alright, so now I'm gonna be talking about the beginning part of the movie, which is the Act 1. So in Act 1, we learn about Fei Fei's backstory, which related to her parents, to her family, to her family's business, and not to forget the story of Chang'e. So what really happened in Act 1 was there's this one night where her mother, Fei Fei's mother, tell her a story about Chang'e. So Chang'e is about a goddess, a beautiful woman that's still waiting for her husband to come, because what really happened was her husband died and she's really sad about it, but she do believe that one day they will meet again, her husband will come and they will be together again. So that is why she is still waiting for him on the moon. And also since that Fei Fei, she started to believe in it. She is really into that story and basically believe the story. And next is in Act 1, we also learn that Fei Fei has an amazing father and mother. They really love each other. They really love Fei Fei. And also her family runs a business, which is they basically make and sell mooncake to other people. As day goes by, there's this one time where her mother gets sick and then sadly she died. And that's the summary for Act 1. Alright, so now I'm gonna be talking about rising tension in Act 2. Okay, so there are a few scenes in here where Chang'e wants a gift from Fei Fei, but Fei Fei doesn't know what kind of gift that Chang'e wants. And the gift is actually going to help Chang'e to meet her husband again. And she's basically running out of time, so she tells everyone to get a gift, to find a gift, and whoever found it first, that person will get a reward. So basically, Fei Fei doesn't want to lose the chance, so she struggled, she suffers, and she fights for it. So after fighting and suffering, she finally got the gift and she went back to the palace and gave it to Chang'e. And surprisingly, the gift is actually half of the amulet that belongs to Chang'e. After Chang'e took the gift from Fei Fei, she pieced them back together and waiting for a miracle to happen. The next part is the climax part in Act 2, where Chang'e finally met her husband, but then unfortunately things didn't go the way that she wanted it to be, because her husband told her that she has to move on and he cannot stay with her, and that makes it more sad, and she becomes more hopeless and upset. And then after that, everything went black and it went dark. Then she created this space or room called the Chamber of Exquisite Sadness, where she is the only one who has ever gone in there. Alright, so the last part in Act 2, which is the falling tension, is where Chang'e and Feifei comfort each other. So basically, Feifei has the ability to enter the room, the Chamber of Exquisite Sadness, and then when she entered the room, they somehow have this kind of connection. They kind of like can relate to each other because they are broken-hearted people, because the people that they love leave them, and after talking and singing, they somehow comfort each other, and that is the last part in Act 2. Okay, so now I'm gonna be talking about Act 3, which is the last part, the resolution part in this movie. Okay, so in Act 3, we can see that Feifei learns how to accept and move on from her past, and also she finally accepts Chin as her brother and Mrs. Zong as her stepmother. So she basically accepts her father to remarry again, and last but not least, she is finally happy again with her family. So that's all for Act 3, and thank you.
I continue the part of characterization part. The main character in this movie is Feifei. She enjoys sharing a tender moment with her mama and papa at the very beginning as the legend of Chang'e is being shared. She loves her parents to the point where she doesn't want her father to immediate marriage to take place. She trimmed her hair short after her mother died because it's a reminder of her mother. She is a bright young dreamer and a lover of science. She believes everything is possible, and her determination to prove that Chang'e exists takes her to the moon and back. After a few hours of scientific research, she buys items from the internet and crafts her own rocket ship. She blasts off into the stars into the hope of finding Chang'e. And then, Brazil was a gift from her mother and is Feifei's most loyal and adorable friend. She is the one who literally followed her to the ends of the earth. Continue with Mama, Feifei's mother, a warm and loving figure who lives with her heart and is inspired by Feifei's imagination. The happiness is not last as Mama passed away and leaving Papa and Feifei alone. Papa, Feifei's father, the proud owner of the mooncake shop, and a man of science who approaches the world logically. Although he can see the joy that the legend of Chang'e brings to Feifei and her mother, Feifei's father's loneliness and Feifei's inability to move on are giving such an annoyance that it was hard to not feel sorry for this conflict heads, as they just wondered what was best for each other. Stepmother, Mrs. Zong. When Feifei's life seemed turned upside down, when so her father, Papa, develops an interest in the new lady, Mrs. Zong. Jin, Mrs. Zong's son, whose twin persevered as an inconvenience. Jin believes in Feifei and supports her, trusting her to do the right thing. Feifei's younger, soon to be her stepbrother, plays a game of ping pong with the moon goddess in order to prove his word to the missions. Finally, he wins the game, but he doesn't get the picture. Chang'e has him imprisoned, but he believes that there is no barriers to help his sister Feifei. Gobi and daring, but sometimes exasperating, Nuri, who becomes an expected companion to Feifei on her adventure. He helps Feifei with finding the gift in order for her to wish to be granted. Chang'e, the legendary moon goddess herself, despite being a larger-than-life figure and the source of all lives of Lunarian, she gets stuck on the moon waiting her long-lost love. She is showing the effect on endless isolation and heartbreak. The unpredictability of her character is also plus of her when she bugs and her souvenirs. Thus, it is frustration, but also becomes an benevolent entity that everyone loves. In this movie does not have antagonists. The only antagonist can be seen is the biker chains who betray Fei Fei by stealing her doll because they believe it to be the gift of Chang'e wanted. That's all from me, thank you.
Hi, my name is Sven and today I will be presenting about symbols and signs that can be found in our film critique which was Over the Moon. So first of all, let's take a look at Fei Fei's scarf, which she has kept from the beginning of the movie until the end of the movie. So this scarf was very important to her as it was from her late mother, and it also held a lot of her childhood memories of when her mother was still happy and healthy, along with her memories of her family having fun together. So this scarf, not only being a memory souvenir, it also serves as a drive for her to fly to the moon to visit Chang'e to have her wish fulfilled, which we know that she wants her father to remember about the relationship that he had with her mother. So basically what she wanted was to bring back all the memories and to return the time that she had when she was still a child, during her family was still happy and healthy. There was Next up, we're going to talk about BINTI, the pet rabbit that she had when she was a child, which she kept from the beginning of the movie until the end of the movie, for when she released it to be together with the jade rabbit on the moon. So first of all, in the scene where the whole family, where Fei Fei, her mother, along with her father, spent time together, this was when her mother was very sick, and the whole family knew that her mother is going to pass away soon. So this was when Fei Fei's mother and her father decided to give the rabbit, which is BINTI, to Fei Fei, and we can see that along the movie that BINTI had kept Fei Fei company after the mother had passed away. Next, we're going to talk about the stork that appeared in the movie. So in the beginning of the movie, during the scene when BINTI ran away from home and Fei Fei chased BINTI to the place where she spent her childhood memories at with her family. In that place, we can see a stork stood alone. And this also represented how Fei Fei felt at that time, which was very alone and lonely, since her father had brought a new woman to the family dinner to be introduced to. Now, in some Asian cultures, that family members can come in the form of an animal to visit you, and in this scene, we can say that the stork represents Fei Fei's mother, who appeared as Fei Fei felt very frustrated and also alone. And to back up this theory, in the ending of the movie, there was a scene where the stork touches Fei Fei's hair, just like her mother did when Fei Fei was still a child. And we also saw a scene where the stork flew in a group of more storks, which also represents how Fei Fei felt at that time, which was Fei Fei had moved on and accepted her new family and realized that she was also enveloped with a lot of love. Next, we're going to talk about the scene where Fei Fei was singing the love story between Chang'e and Hou, and the reason why she loved it so much was because the same exact true love that existed in the story also existed between her father and her mother. So let's just say that these two lotuses represent Hou and Chang'e, and in that scene, the two lotuses were far away from each other, just like the couple. And when one of the lotus, which was the yellow lotus, drifted near Fei Fei, she redirected it towards the white lotus, and they were stuck each other, just like how she wished Chang'e and Hou to be together. And not only that, this also represents her wish for her father to remember about the relationship that he had with her mother, and she does not want the place that her mother has in her father's heart to be replaced by Miss Zong. That's all. Thank you.
Okay, first the main character's attitudes. Chang-yi, the main antagonist in this movie, She was kind, gentle, and graceful as a swan landing on a quiet lake, and one of the most beautiful and elegant women. She also seems to have this soft spot for the lunates due to them taking and support her, and she also the type of competitive person when it comes to challenges. But after Huey died, she became selfish, rude, obsessive, and cruel to everyone. And then, in the ending of the story, after she met Huey again and accept that they cannot be together again, she became herself again. That kind and gentle and soft to everyone. Second, Feifei, the main protagonist characters in this movie. She is intelligent, determined, and doesn't like to give up. We can see that in this movie, she doesn't give up when she want to build a rocket to fly to the moon to meet Chang'e, and then she easily get annoyed when it comes to Chin, but still has a good heart. And we got Chin, the stepbrothers of Feifei. He is such a curious person, as shown when he follows Feifei to her rocket and stows away to the moon. And he is also playful, silly, and loyal to Feifei, and also loves to play ping pong, and has gotten fourth place in a competition. This we can see in this movie when he played ping pong with Chang'e and won the competition. And last, for the main character's attitudes, is Banji. Banji has been shown to be loyal, fun, obedient, caring, and loving. She also liked partying during the song Ultra Luminary. Second is Place. Lunaria. Lunaria is the city on the moon. It is where most of the events over the moon take place. As the song Ultra Luminary states, when Jet and Chang'e arrived at the moon, it was a desert. Then Jet made a potion ignite, and it created Lunaria, and that's when Lunaria exists. Okay, and then fashion. Most of the fashion showed in Chang'e's costume. We can see when she's singing, she's dancing or play ping pong, and when she met Hui. First, the stage costume. Its colors are bright and the construction is invisible. Throughout her ultra-luminary songs, we see Chang'e dance and fly, her costume mutating according to the staging's demand. At one point, its colors become duller and the skirt the size of a monument. It becomes bigger and taller. And then the ping pong costume. Chang'e's costumes are designed to catch the audience by surprise using shapes, colors, and fabric choices. In ping pong, the ping pong costume marries both modern and traditional influences. The high ponytail gives off sense of playfulness, while the vibrant colors and floating fabric lets us see her move like a graceful athlete. We can In this ping pong costume, we can see when he challenged Chin to play ping pong. And then we got the Empress gown, when Chang'e wears a queenly robe of red silk and intricate embroidery. With its huge sleeves and animalistic motifs, the costume recalls ancient history as well as the goddess' romantic tragedy. And furthermore, Kuo Pei, which is who designed for Chang'e costume, added some more stylish elements like a rigid radiating collar, which hints a contemporary opulence and adds a fantasy feel to the character. And the last but not least, the Chinese traditional dress. Chang'e wore this dress when she got reunited with Hui, the love of her life. The dress complements the forest perfectly, adding to the sadness as she bids farewell to her true love. And that's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, greetings. I bid to Mr. Mark. My name is Sarah Aisyah binti KHURUN HIZAR. My matrix number is BN19110091. And I will be representing the audiovisual elements of this movie, Over the Moon. The movie that we have chosen is a musical themed movie. So the songs in the movie plays a very important role in moving the movie forward. And each of the songs that are presented in the movie has a story or a message which shows the emotions of the characters that runs very deep, where words just simply weren't enough. The first song that was sung in this movie is On the Moon Above. This song is a retelling of the legend of Chang'e, which is the moon goddess, which was sung by Feifei's mother. This song made Feifei believe in true love and was needed to move the story forward. Next, the second song presented in the movie is entitled Mooncakes, which is a quite touching song because this song is designed to capture the lively and percussive beat of the family mooncake business. And it is also to carry the audience through the seasons of Feifei's young life to her mother's illness and beyond. And the third song presented in this movie is titled Rocket to the Moon. This song is where Feifei's journey and the journey at the heart of the film. The song starts out almost like a prayer, where Feifei longs for her mother who has died, but an intuitive voice breaks through her grief and inspires her to prove that Chang'e is real and to build a rocket to the moon. Furthermore, the song Ultra Luminary, which is a lively song, introduces Chang'e's character, someone who the songwriter describes as a goddess who's larger than life, a charismatic and confident leader of the kingdom of Lunaria, but who also has deep hurt and pain that she tries to bury inside. And it shows in the lyric where she sung, from tears I rise, from tears I rise. It shows how painful she is, but she is trying to hide the pain. And the next song is Hey Boy. This song is a rap battle between two strong and spirited personalities. The song builds to the climax where Chin defeats Chang'e, and the two powerful personalities competing in one fun ping pong game. The next song presented in this movie is titled Wonderful. The song Wonderful has a funny touch to the song, but actually it is a song meant to be comforting to anyone going through grief. And the message that the songwriter wants to deliver is that even if everything seems to change and you're holding on tight to the memories of your loved ones that are lost or has passed away, you can still move forward with them in your heart, and that you are wonderful going through that process. And the song Yours Forever, which is quite a romantic scene of Chang'e and the man he longs for, Hu Yi. This song, Reprise, is a bilingual song or spell that evokes longing and hope simultaneously. It tells the love and lost backstory of Chang'e and her forever Hu Yi. And as she conjures his spirit, we see her not as the goddess before, but as a young woman she once was on earth, who was truly and deeply in love.
For the last song of this movie, which I find the most touching and emotional, is titled Love Someone New. And in this last song, Chang'e releases Fei Fei from enough of her grief that she comes to understand that she can love again. And when Fei Fei accepts that she can love someone new, she gives that same gift to Chang'e in return. And these two characters, Chang'e and Fei Fei, they long for someone, they miss someone. But throughout this journey, they have learned that they can still move on and love someone new and be happy without having to let go of the person that they lost, because they can still keep them in their hearts. And this is what is achieved in this last song. And that is all for songs for this part. But besides song, props and costumes also plays an important role in this movie. And for example, Chang'e's costume. Chang'e's costume has a variety of costumes in this movie, which are Chinese traditional dress, her stage costume, her ping pong costume, and also the empress gown. And the other characters in this movie, they wear modern clothing. And some other props that are also important are the rocket, which is shaped as a rabbit, which was made by Fei Fei to go to the moon. And also the jade, which is like a broken jade, like broken in pieces, in half. So that jade also has its meaning and has a purpose in this movie. That is all from me. Thank you.